Yeah, I think it's right, and when you overcomplicate things, and this is what people do, they complicate simplicity, right? So the simpler you make something, the easier it is to learn. And honestly, the reason people do it is ego. So they show them all these things. It's ego based, right? So it's like I do all these things, and then what you're not doing is you're not looking to help that person. You think you're helping them, but what you're doing is you're showing off for how great you are. This is the same with martial arts across the board, by the way. Like simplicity is the fruit, of success. So the simpler you make it and you break it down, like we got to remember that, all them years of learning, if you want to be a great instructor in anything, you've got to go back and be the white belt again. If you want to transfer that knowledge on, you've got to keep it so simple that a baby could learn it.
Hello, my friends. Harry from Fight Dad here. I've got the full interview with Gordon Burcham coming up really, really soon. I hope you enjoyed that little clip I played just now. In this interview, it was a really interesting one because at several points during the interview, something he said just made me pause and really put me off my stride with the questions I had thought out and lined up. And if it's something that's that impactful for me while we're having the conversation, then I'm sure there'll be at least something which is going to be able to help you in there. Our conversation ranged over a whole wide range of topics from martial arts to mindset to Gordon's upbringing and some of the ways that he cultivates boundless positive energy on a daily basis, and that part on its own is really, really important. I hope you watch that part too. Some things about instructors and how often ego gets in our way, and some methods of helping dissolve that and really be much higher level instructors that will be able to serve our students to an even better degree than we do at the moment. Yeah, it's just really powerful. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to cut to the interview. I hope you enjoy my interview with Gordon Burcham.
Okay, here we are with the absolutely unstoppable Gordon Burcham. Thank you for joining me today, Gordon. It's a real pleasure to be talking with you.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me on.
And for anybody who doesn't know yet, I'm going to try and give a brief rundown. Gordon is the owner and sensei at GeForce Martial Arts in Rugby. It's the driving energy behind martial arts business mastery, which is a really valuable resource and community for martial arts instructors. He's a direct coach and mentor for instructors and school owners. You see a lot of success under his guidance, so he's a coach of coaches, speaker and author, and let's not forget 3 times world kickboxing champion. Anything else on the list I need to be reminded of?
No, I've written a couple of books, and, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the business of martial arts. It really helped me with my school quite a lot, just the way of thinking about serving and selling and offers and
great. Well done.
Martial arts obviously been an incredible vehicle, and along with its values of hard work and perseverance and integrity, an incredible vehicle for you to achieve some amazing things for yourself and other people. I want to know, how did you get started and what made you stick with martial arts for the long term?
Great question. I mean, I got martial arts found me, really. I mean, it was something I was looking for, was an interest in it, highly bullied when I was younger, massively had inferior complex, and I so worried about conflict in my life, had so much conflict in my life. So I really struggled connecting with people. I'm autistic, so I struggled with that connection at times. And so martial arts sort of found me, and I feel so blessed to have, to have been on that journey, really, because, it was so life transformational for me, like so life transformational. And going on that journey, crying when you go into the dojo and wiping your eyes before you go in, that kind of 17, 18, 19 years of age because you're scared of getting hit. To go on a journey and losing tournaments and fighting and losing and getting beat up, etc. And then going through that whole process of learning development, then in 2012, winning my first world title, which was the day I was born. That time, that 2012 was the day I was born. So the Gordon Burcham you see here now, Gordon Burcham, that's, have so many school owners, built the successes, was born 2012 on the podium, winning the first world title. It was completely life transformational for me because it allowed me to start loving myself, liking myself, etc. And really went on a journey from that point on. What you think?
Wow. That's fantastic. Well, what was it then that made you keep coming back and keep training? If you didn't feel like your now self back at that point, what was it that kept you
It's a great question. Yeah, I suppose what I did have was, I had the willingness to succeed beyond all odds. So like well, here's the story. So like, well, I used to get bullied a lot, and stuff. And what my mom, I used to run in, I'd be crying, and my mom would go, bang, get back outside and fight. That's how you every time you get knocked down, you get back up. That's how you win. I hated my mom for that. But what I didn't realize was it was the greatest gift she could ever give me, because I hadn't realized unconsciously that's what I kept doing. I kept going back. I kept going back, kept going back. And it was just like, I'd never give up, never give up. I'd get knocked down 10 times and go back and go, I'm quitting. The next day, go back to the dojo. So I believe it's like, it was the desire to not give up, the desire to keep on going. And I don't have an answer about that. I don't have the thing. What I do know is, though, it was the desire to keep going, the desire to keep moving forwards. And I suppose the desire really to be the best I could, and I think that's really, really important.
Do you reckon that was maybe something that was instilled at you at a really early age and became just an automatic response?
Yeah, every time you get knocked down, you get back up. That's how you win.
Yeah, that's it. You get back up and go, right, who's
next? Yeah, and I didn't realise that. And it was how tough my mom was. It's how tough life was. I'd learned, my first recollection of being alive was the rain beating down on my face. I can remember it vividly now. It's really cold, I had an itchy blanket, and I'm crying. My mom's delivering newspapers so we can eat. Surviving, right? You go and do it. You do what it takes. See, all of them unconscious things that we learn as we're growing up, when we're born, when we're in our mom's womb, like we don't realise that we are taking all that on. We're downloading information. And that's what made me the person I am, all of them challenges. And anyone listening to this, like, if you're having challenges right now, amazing. I'm so happy for you. Because this is where you're going to grow, right? This is what makes you strong. Like, you don't grow when something is simple and easy. You're not growing. You are literally dying. It's when through the challenges where we grow. And that's what I'm really passionate about. Most people have you'll know this, Harry. Lots of people have that they see a challenge or a problem as the worst thing in the world. But it's the greatest gift. It's the greatest gift that we could all, it's the greatest gift, right? Because it's going to help you become, it's going to stretch you, it's going to be painful, it's going to be challenging, etc. But when you break through and you find a solution to that, or you learn from it, man, you've grown as a human being.
Yeah, that's a fantastic answer. And I suppose then as parents and instructors, and I suppose everybody is a role model for somebody in some way, aren't they? So it really drives home how important your unconscious actions are as setting that example. Say for your kids or your students or whatever, if you say, all right, everybody should do this, should keep your room tidy, should be nice to each other and stuff, but the example you set is different, then a lesson's not going to go in. So it's
I think it's a great one. And one of the things that I love to teach people is very, very simple. Like, I don't listen to what someone says, I listen to what they do.
Yeah, it's far more telling, isn't it?
Right. In what you're doing and who you're like. We're human beings. We're not human doers. What are you being? How are you being today is important, And a quote that I love to use all the time is, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. I've been trying to, I'm totally going to steal that, by the way. That's okay. I'll credit it when I use it. I'll credit it.
Don't worry about that, mate. Yeah, there's no new information.
That's a similar idea to, everything you do now is training for in the future, because you're forming a habit one way or another by just that repeated action, or that repeated thought, or that repeated emotion to thought to action chain.
Another good one I think you'll like on this one. It's really, really good. I heard this years ago, and it's always stuck in my brain. I've been doing personal development for 14 years, and this is a great one. And it was brilliant. It's always stuck with me. It's very simple. How would the person I want to become do the thing I'm about to do?
What the person I want to become do the thing I'm about to do. Great. Yeah, writing that one down too.
That is, it's got like pure gold. When I heard it, it was like, wow. Because if you like that, now you become that person, right? So powerful.
That's, fantastic. Wow. Okay, you totally kicked me off my plan of questions.
Sorry.
No, that's great. Cool. This is really appropriate, I suppose. You seem to have absolutely like boundless and unstoppable positive energy about you. And I suppose we've half answered this question already, but what do you think it is that allows you to unleash all that energy? Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. What's your kind of secret?
Yeah, it's very simple. Self-love. Love of self. Genuine love of self. I didn't love myself for 35 years. I hated the person in the mirror. Hated how I sounded. Didn't like my name. Thought I was different. I was different, but I hated that about myself. I didn't love myself. In 2012, when I won the world title, it's like everything just made sense. It was like, actually, I could finally love and respect myself. I went on this journey of actually, I fucking love, excuse my language, but I love the person who's in the mirror. I love the quirkiness about me. I love it that I nearly burn the house down because I leave the stove on. I love it that I leave my keys everywhere and I don't know where they are. I love that human being is in the mirror. That creates energy. You see, the world is full of people, Harry, who are constantly knocking themselves down, constantly self-doubt, constantly looking in the mirror and wish there was someone different, constantly looking. If you look at society right now, most people are so focused on what other people are doing and how they perceive that they should be. That's why suicide rate in teenagers is the highest ever been in history, because everyone wants to be filtered and all that stuff. No, love that person who's in the mirror. That creates energy. Love is energy, right? It's the greatest energy in the world. But you can't love others until you love yourself. So self-love, once you love that person, you will be happy. And when you're happy, you have energy, you have vitality. Happiness starts from within. So the energy comes from self-love. Loving everything about you, not just the good bits, the bad bits, the quirkiness, everything about you. And once you understand that, once you work hard on yourself, when you really look at that human being and you love the reflection, you can go away and love other people unconditionally because you love yourself unconditionally too. And that creates energy in the world. So people say to me, why you got so much energy? Because I'm in love with who I am, and which means I can love the world more. I love being alive. I love seeing the sunshine. I love breathing the air. And the other thing around that is then to be so grateful for the opportunity to have another day on this planet.
Interlude. If you're enjoying this video and getting really good value from it, I really hope that you would just boop the like button and maybe drop a comment down below. What's your favorite part so far? That would really help me, really help the channel, and really help this video reach a lot more people, help a lot more people. I appreciate you.
That's a fantastic answer. I suppose then as well, if you truly love yourself, then you're not seeking that from anybody. Well, not seeking it, not reliant on that from anything or anyone else.
You were absolutely right, Harry. You were right. Not seeking it, not trying to get it from anybody else. The most important story is the one you tell yourself every single day. Is it a love story or is it a horror story? What is the story? It doesn't matter, what other people say about you and think about you is none of your business. But most people make it their business and they make it their thing, and they take on what someone else says to them as, oh no, I must be bad. I must be, there must be something wrong with me. But the most important story is what you say to yourself. But we're so focused externally as human beings, we've not realized our true power, which lies within our soul. I call it you power, right? That's what I call it. And once you can work hard on you, when you can, love yourself, etc., and not worry at 1 ounce, 1 second, what other people think about you. Don't focus on that because it's their shit. Focus on yourself. And, it's definitely served me.
Yeah, that's ideal. Usually that other people's opinion of you is actually an opinion of themselves.
Every time.
Or at least it has to go through that filter to start with.
People hate about you the very thing that's great about you. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. Sorry.
That's all right. It's
question
fine.
list. No, this is great. It's going to be really valuable for a lot of people. I'm really pleased you're having this conversation. So just steering slightly now towards martial arts again. I guess that you're probably best known for kickboxing and karate, but I know that you're also quite highly ranked in the Filipino arts and done some extensive training with a good number of Filipino martial arts masters and teachers there. And do you include any FMA in your classes at G-Force?
Yeah, absolutely. Filipino martial arts has been a big part of my life. I've been blessed to train with people like Grandmaster Remy Presas, God bless him. Trained in the Kali stuff, trained with Ron Baliki, trained with Paul Vunak, all them guys in that kind of crossover Filipino JKD kind of concept. But I've been really blessed to be mentored by Grandmaster Danny Guba,
Yes.
of the Guba Perez, for the last 16, 17 years now. And he's been instrumental for me, and it really helped me win my kickboxing titles because of the footwork and everything there. So Filipino, that's a big part of what I do. And we teach that within our schools. We're known as a martial arts sort of place, sort of sport karate, if you like. I don't like the names. I don't think styles are irrelevant. It just depends what you do. It's how I think. No one cares about your style, by the way. They care about what they get. So we include the Filipino arts. It's interesting with Filipino arts because most people don't know what that is. The masses don't know what it is, but it's the most beautiful art out there because it's got so many elements to it. Empty hand, close quarter, long range, short range, knife, stick, etc., bow, and all this. It's a beautiful art. So we intertwine it. We don't call it that. We start teaching it through the syllabus and through workshops and seminars, and people absolutely love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's absolutely my favorite. I've trained it across a good number of arts now myself. Capoeira, Muay Thai, freestyle wrestling, street boxing, a little bit of JKD, and then I saw Filipino arts as that stick twirly one that was a class going on the other side of the school where my instructor was, and he eventually convinced me to come along and try it, and I just was like, okay, yeah, this is my thing now, and it's absolutely my favorite. And at the moment, I'm in the process of refining my own FMA syllabus, and the thing that I've observed about some of the syllabuses that I've been through before, and some of the other instructors that I've chatted with, not yourself, by the way, because I know you know how to, give students really good value and work on their attention. But sometimes FMA instructors get stuck with the overload and the overwhelm because there is so much to the art. Especially with new students, they can kind of go, okay, there's some stuff. And for the people like you and I who go, oh, this is amazing, they stick on and they train with it for a long time and they love it. But certainly being an instructor myself, I've seen new students come in and get overloaded quite quickly and then not come back. So what do you think would be the most important elements to include or exclude so that new students become confident quickly, but also stick around training for the long term?
Yeah, I think it's right. And, when you overcomplicate things, and this is what people do, they complicate simplicity, right? So the simpler you make something, the easier it is to learn. And honestly, the reason people do it is ego. So they show them all these things. It's ego based, right? So it's like, I do all these things. And then what you're not doing is you're not looking to help that person. You think you're helping them, but what you're doing is you're showing off how great you are. This is the same with martial arts across the board, by the way. Like, simplicity is the fruit, of success. So the simpler you make it and you break it down, like, we got to remember that, all them years of learning, if you want to be a great instructor in anything, you've got to go back and be the white belt again. If you want to transfer that knowledge on, you've got to keep it so simple that a baby could learn it. So when you're learning all this, the Filipino stuff, the twisting, the knife stuff and that, work on the basics more. If you look at anybody who's successful in life, anyone, they just work the basics more than anybody else. All the other stuff, right, is just flamboyant stuff. It's just meaning and anything. It's all made. Look at ex-taekwondo. A lot of it is just like filling, right? So if you can work on the basics so they get really good at the basics and then add elements as they've got that really tied down and do it in a way that is, hidden repetition, is fun, energized, etc. They will keep on taking it on. I was in a business seminar yesterday. I said, listen, I've got no new stuff for you. There's no new stuff in this planet. There's no new information. There's just a different way of delivering it to inspire you to take action on the stuff you already know. There's no new information. But it's how you deliver it that makes it special. So you can teach someone how to do a wand, an e-cash. E-cash, I can do all this all day long, right? E-cash, right? Brilliant. But you can do it in a real flowy way and you can work with it. And then it becomes more fun. You can do it in a high energy, low energy. You can move around. You can change partners, get a different feel. So you can do a lot of hidden repetition. That helps. So simplicity is key. I've got to hold it there. Is it okay to plug my computer in?
Yeah, no problem.
1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Again.
Excellent. Yeah, so keeping it simple and disguised repetition is fantastic. Reminds me of something. It's a question, which is, if this was easy, what would it look like? And that's something I've been trying to drive into my brain.
As an instructor of anything, as a teacher, as an educator, whatever that you want to call it, a coach, mentor, it doesn't really matter what it is. We have to remove our ego. It's massive because everyone wants to show everyone how good they are, and they're not actually stepping into the person's model of the world. They're not stepping into their shoes. And being a great teacher, he's stepping into their shoes and doing it at their level, in their energy, in their way, in rapport, right? So that how they can learn. So you have absolutely their understanding at your heart, not what you want to show them. And that's where the biggest change is ego. Martial arts, I'm sorry, I'm going to say most martial artists have got a massive ego.
Yeah, well, help them get to where they are, right?
Yeah. But when you're a teacher, you have to remove the ego. When you're a leader, it's removing the ego and not needing to be the master, not needing to be the great one, not needing to show off. Is to be how can I serve this human being?
Yeah. And that another really powerful answer. Thanks for that.
Oh.
Cool. So what have you got coming up? I know you got a pretty exciting event around the corner.
Yeah, we got loads going on. So yeah, we've got lots going on as always. If people follow what I do, but I think I've got a business. Yeah, we've got a Mavex coming up, which is an amazing event, and we created Mavex to give back to the industry. Like, there's nothing like it in the UK, and the reason we run it is because here's why I do what I do, Harry. I absolutely love martial arts, but we have a problem, a serious problem. This is insane. The best martial artists in the industry earn the least amount of money most of the time. I think about how insane it's the only industry I know where the best earns the least. The best doctors get the most amount of money. The best pilot gets the most amount of money. In martial arts, the best instructors earn the least, and it's because they are white belts in business. It's because they are white belts in the business element. And it doesn't mean that, they're a sellout. You don't need to change what you teach. You need to change how you attract people. And the business element is something that I teach. It's like the aim of Martial Arts Business Mastery was, Harry, how can I create a product and a service that will absolutely enhance the industry? And I think we've done it over the last 7 years. We've actually, really enhanced the industry. So it's like really coaching, mentor, school. I've done thousands of martial arts school learners and helped transform them while maintaining quality, which is important. And it was like, okay, I want to make an event. Let's create an event where you don't have to fly to America, where we can bring the best speakers and trainers, not just in the martial arts industry, but actually from industries around the UK and around the world, right? So it's like we got people from one of the best in Facebook marketing, some of the best in cash flow management, some of the best in customer service journeys, personal development, etc. And that's what Mavex is. It's the 4th year we've run it. We missed last year because of the pandemic. I'm super excited. We sold 100 tickets in 3 days.
That's brilliant.
It's been unbelievable, right? And I know we're going to sell out. 150 is all we've got. We've sold 2/3 already, which is amazing. So I'm really excited about that. And, if people are listening, if you're a martial arts instructor, remember one thing. It's not that you can't run a business. You just not learn how to yet. It's never that you can't. You haven't learned to yet. And I would say to you, this is really important. And this is to save the industry. You may look at other martial artists and go, well, how they got 500 members? I'm actually better than them. You need to remove the ego and say, listen, I need to learn some stuff here. I need to learn a new way of running the business and become a white belt again. And many instructors struggle with that, Harry. They have this, again, ego out there. I know what I'm doing, but actually they're not being honest. I see this hundreds and hundreds of times. They go, actually, I need to learn marketing. I need to learn how to sell properly. I need to know how to convert, how to do all this stuff that we know is in business and become a black belt in it. Because if the great martial artists out there can remove their ego and say, I need to learn this stuff and actually learn how to, we are going to enhance our industry. And Mabex is a powerful, life-changing event that we have. It's 2 days. It's in November the 13th and 14th. And if you're a martial arts instructor, cancel your diary. Like, here's what happens, Harry. Oh, yeah, I can't today because I've got a class on. Cancel your diary. Like, one of the things that changed me, I lost my house trying to build a martial arts business. 14 years ago, I ended up drinking heavily. I was in a mess, I was depressed. We had £25 to live on for food, Harry. I moved into the cheapest 3-bedroom house on the street. It stunk. We were eating pasta with tomato sauce and sprinkled cheese on so it would taste nice. Well, I was going to the back every day and putting a couple of pound in so it wouldn't go over the overdraft. I know what it's like to be down. But the one thing that saved me, the one thing that saved my martial arts business was I invested in a coaching program. I had no money, £3,000 for 3 months. This is 14 years ago, right? I sold stuff in the house and we borrowed a little bit of money off my in-laws. We went all in. Tripled the business income within 2.5 months. Completely changed my mindset on what business is and how to run a business without sacrificing the quality. We have our black belt grains here are 25 hours. All that. We have quality here, right? But we know how to run a business. And what I learned was education is more important than anything. It's not that I haven't learned it yet. So I always put myself in rooms. And people, when you look at successful people, when you look at people who are successful in business, in anything in life, they commit to learning and growing. And it's interesting to me how many martial artists are closed off and they'll put running their class or a seminar on before they were learning how to run a business so they can attract more people so you can serve more people in your local area. So yeah, Mabex is going to be truly amazing. So yeah, so I'm very passionate, as you know, about this stuff. It's so in their way, right? I'm sorry if it hurts people. It's the truth. You're putting the wrong thing in place to be able to help you create the lifestyle and serve people in your area as the best you can. So
it's a bigger vision as well. It's a bigger vision because they may be thinking, I've got to teach that class or I might lose 5 members, or I got to teach that seminar because it's 500 quid cash in or something, whatever it is for their seminar. But yeah, really, if you change your trajectory and then times that by 6 months, a year, 5 years, then that's going to be it's almost going to be irrelevant, isn't it?
You're absolutely on the money. Like, I've seen, I've got clients, I'm not lying here, we've 20 times their income. Like we've had 20 times their income. They're taken from 88 members to 1,400 members. One of the best full contact schools on the planet, right? And you're like, okay, well, what's the difference? The difference is education. And here's the thing: the false evidence appearing real, fear, rubbish, right? Oh, if I'm not there, all my students will leave. The reason I know so much about this because that was me. Oh, they'll all leave. No, they won't all leave. Just let them know that you're going to a business or you're going to a seminar to make your school even better. People don't go, oh, it's out of order. No, don't. And if you are that problem, that's the very reason you need to be there, because you need to learn how to have employment. You need to know how to build instructors. You need to know how to build an infrastructure. Build a freedom business. And they're very much in their own way. So if you're listening to this, guys, wherever you are, honestly, put education first. So what do I need to learn? I'm going to go and put myself in them rooms.
Just don't know how to yet. That's all it is. Not that I can't. Just don't know how to yet. I haven't learned how to yet, rather. Yeah.
Haven't learned how to yet. The most transfer. That was where I learned that, by the way. After 2.5 months I've turned it from a £2,800 a month business to £10,000 a month in 2.5 months. Solidified me. It isn't that I can't. I hadn't learned how to yet, and that's what I've took with me for the last 14 years.
That's
why do I do it?
Something's been transformational. Well, has been slightly transformational for me is I think it's something that probably I heard you said or read in your book, which is about with local martial arts clubs, we're not really in direct, well, there's some element of direct competition, but not really in direct competition with each other. We're in direct competition with people sat on the sofa or Netflix or I mean, ideally they'd be doing some other sport, but can they take on martial arts as well? Because martial arts is a small kind of percentage of all activities, which is an even smaller percentage of all people's leisure time. When, in my view, and I'm sure you're the same as well, it should be everyone should do it, or at least more people than currently do should train martial arts. So, that made me thinking that if there's however many clubs in your town, then all of them could have 10 times as many students and still all be successful. And it's probably better to actually work together with your other local instructors and, cross promote and seminars together and all that kind of thing.
Well, it was interesting. It's like yesterday, I won a business conference. A guy who runs a club literally down the road came to the business conference. We invited him. I learned how to market at school. I walked in, people are like, oh my goodness. It's like, yeah, what? They're all different. It doesn't matter. Get your own way. So no competition. The only competition you got is the one you look in the mirror every day. The only competition you have is the one person you look in the mirror every single day. That is it. There's no other competition. It's you every single time. Not all these other people. It's fictional, right? And if we can start to learn, yes, to work together and not worry about what other people are doing would be amazing. But, our industry, we've got to start believing in what we do more. People walk through the door. I believe martial arts is important to swimming. I tell every single parent, if I ever see them, martial arts is important to swimming. You will not let your child quit swimming until they learn to swim. You need them to learn how to defend themselves and how to be the greatest version of themselves as possible. Martial arts is not a class. It's not an activity. It's a personal development journey. What it is.
Yeah.
But most people don't believe that. They're like, oh yeah, how much is it per class? Get out of that rubbish. Don't sell classes it's just rubbish. You don't. You sell programs to get results. Yeah,
it's a program of transformation, and it's not the price you want to look at; it's the value. Yeah.
It's the result they want. What result are you looking for? Right, £660 for the full 12 months to get that result. When would you like to pay?
Yep, it's a good question. What method is best for you?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Which one works for you? Yeah, absolutely.
Gordon, that's been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Very well.
What's the best way that people can find you online?
Just find me anywhere.
Pretty much anywhere.
You'll find me on Facebook, probably just yarning on or just talking BS, or on Instagram. I'm one of these kind of people that people don't understand, Harry. I don't need anything. I don't need to get anything. I'm just there. I don't need to get anything. I just love to serve human beings. That's all I want to do. So I'm around. You'll find me somewhere, wherever I am. Drop me a message. If I've got time, I will do. I'll drop you a voice note or whatever. But remember, remember one thing you take from this is you have the power to shape your day, to shape your week, to shape your year, to shape your destiny. You are the creator. Nobody else.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. I'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Gordon. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, you made it to the end. I always appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really hope you got a lot out of this video. We've got a few more interviews coming up with some people that have a lot of really excellent stuff to say. So I hope you'll stick around and find those too and get some really good benefit and value from them. As always, this is Harry from Fight Dad saying I hope you have an absolutely outstanding day today. And whatever you do, you get to do at least one thing that helps you get happier, healthier, or richer, and enriches your life and the lives of those you love. Okay, Harry from Fight Dad, out.